Hello, everyone. Sorry about that. The internet is not at our side. They already know we're going to tell a weird ass story and it's trying to shut us down, but we're here. But with that, welcome once again. I am your keeper, Chris Cologne. And with that, let me introduce the rest of my cast, starting off with C.
Homophobia. Hello, everyone. My name is C. I use they them pronouns. You can find me making very trans, very gay art on the internet at Pi Sharp Art. I am playing Eden tonight, who uses they he pronouns. Everyone's looking at me funny, and I don't have it. Why are you confused? Why are you confused? Eden uses they he pronouns is the hex, and they are having a totally normal one. Don't worry about it, TM. And I am going to pass it along to my beloved twin, Vin. It's my favorite thing to say.
Aw. Hi guys, I'm Vin. I've been VoxVA on Twitter. My pronouns are he, they, and I'll be playing Heaven, the Divine, whose pronouns are she, any, and I'm gonna slide it over to CJ.
Hi everyone, gay love, more likely than you think. I'm CJ, and I will be playing Vic, or Vicious sometimes. Her pronouns are she, they, he, probably in that order. My pronouns are they, them. The monstrous. I'm passing it to Hamna.
What is happening? Homophobia, and now this. I don't know if I want to be here. Hello everybody. My name is Hamna. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer. Today I'll be playing Misfit, who uses he/they pronouns, and he is the summoned. And I will pass it over to Chris.
Fantastic. As you see, we have a lovely cast. There we go. English. With that, before we get into it, if you type in the chat !CW, you'll see all the lovely content warnings that you have seen in the waiting screens. To be specific, this AP and this episode specifically has fantasy violence, apocalypse, gore, blood, familial struggles, drug abuse, severe weather, romance, and references to sexual entanglements, monsters and monstrosities, references to epidemics and diseases, and trauma. Those are all the content warnings there. If this is not your poem, no problems. There's a bunch of wonderful content out there for you to enjoy. But with that in mind, Mythics, are we ready to start this episode? Fantastic. We see our camera zoom back to the lovely city of Santa Cana, but it isn't current times. It isn't the present. We see that we're a month earlier. We see the camera zoom in quickly on an ambulance that is blaring its sort of red and white colors down one of the streets as it seems that they're carrying somebody. We see specifically inside of the paramedics, there is a woman, looks like maybe early 30s, covered in scars or wounds in that sense. You see the paramedics are trying to resuscitate or trying to bring them back to life as they're going into full cardiac arrest. We see that they're speeding through the city. One of them sort of turns on the side, asking behind, "Are they okay?" You see the other guy, "I'm trying my best here. Give me that," and sort of trying their best. We see as they sort of turn the corner, the very familiar light that we saw in our first episode hits the sky. The people driving are in awestruck, but again continue driving down until they hear as they just flatline of the patient. They immediately pull out, trying to bring them back to life. Clear. Clear 2 times. But before they're able to do it the 3rd time, we see a mist slowly make its way up the exhaust pipe, coming out of the AC and slowly making its way into the nose of this Jane Doe. Before they get their 3rd clear in, you see the person immediately gets up and grabs the individual by the neck, cracking it. And then immediately you see flowers begin to come out the mouth. We see from the outside, the ambulance flips over, skates across. And as it's burning in the middle of the street, we see a hand on the glass begin to slowly come down with blood. With that, we go back to the present. As a couple days have passed since Heaven's transformation, is to put it in a nice way, as we open up on Misfit within our abandoned observatory. It is night at the moment, and it's been again a couple days. Where do we find Misfit in this hour of night?
Misfit is pacing currently up and down the hallway in front of Naomi's room, whichever one in the observatory they have picked for their room. And he is holding in one hand their mother's necklace and just kind of like moving his hands along it, like feeling all of its different ridges and kind of pressing it a little bit too tightly into his hand as he is just pacing very, very quickly. And I think as he's pacing, there's like, because it's been so long and because they are not really able to necessarily control their emotions entirely right now, I think there's like little sparks that are like coming off of their feet as they're walking, and just like little scorch marks along the entire corridor that kind of show where he's been this whole time. And it's this like very even straight line, like two lines going up and down the hallway. And he does that for a little while, stops in front of the door, looks at it, kind of shakes his head a little bit, winces, and knocks.
With that, you hear Naomi behind the muffled door of, "Who is it?"
It's me.
You see there's a pause for a quick second, but then they get up. You see they open up the door. They're just in pajamas at the moment. They seem to have been just reading over files that they've kind of haphazardly covered. Miss Foot, can I help you? Is something wrong with Heaven?
No. Misfit's eyes, I think, kind of like go briefly to the files that Naomi had very quickly kind of like covered up and then go back to her. You promised me that you would give me information if we talked in private. So, I'm here, alone.
Oh. Yes. You can see that they've kind of kept to themselves ever since that one fight with Vic, and have really just, whenever they see you guys, just give you your space and kind of go on your own. And she goes, come in, please.
And Misfit steps into the door and just kind of like takes whatever is the nearest seat that is open and available, and then looks over at Naomi. I don't want any secrets. I don't want any hedging, any bullshit. I want to know. Did you know?
Did I know what?
Did you know who I was when I got here? When Eden brought me here?
I did. I did know. I wasn't expecting you. I did know who you were in that sense.
Who were you expecting?
It doesn't matter. It was just...
It matters. Who were you expecting?
Can you roll and manipulate someone, please?
Can I? Oh, wait, no, I can because they're like an alien or something. Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
It counts as a monster. It's weird, but it works.
I failed.
You see that... Misfit, do you want your answers, or do you want to go into my personal life? Because you've all made it very abundantly clear that you don't care about who I am and what I have sacrificed for all you. So...
Sacrificed? Sacrificed? Are you talking about sacrificing for us? What have you ever done? for me, for any of us, actually. For Vic, for Heaven, for Eden.
I have done quite a lot. About what may seem to you 7 years. For me, decades upon decades of torture, of averting.
See, that's your problem, isn't it? All you can think about is the past 7 years. I'm talking about before that. You forgot, but you had us all around for much longer before you disappeared. Disappearing isn't the first time that you hurt us. Or at least it's not the first time that you hurt me.
You see that they grab your necklace and begin to, almost like a Rubik's Cube, begin to tap on the sides. As you see, it begins to glow in these letters or runes that you have no idea or have never seen before in your life. Before it kind of goes into that same state it was in before. This should give you the rest of the finished memories of your mother, or the final message that she wanted to give to you.
Why didn't you tell me?
It is not for me to say. That belongs to your mother and your mother solely. I made a promise.
What was the promise?
I would keep you safe from your father in case he decided to take vengeance on the world.
What? Keep me safe from... What? I don't understand. Father loves... All of us loved Mother. From what I know. I mean, I never met her, but... Why would he want to hurt anybody? Well, I mean, beyond just the regular being the devil hurting people. Other than that.
You want your answers. It is right there, pointing to your necklace.
Here or alone?
It doesn't matter to me. I live this personally, so I already know what's gonna happen.
Then I guess you won't mind. And Misfit looks at the necklace, looks up at Naomi. Did you change how it activates, or?
Just like a recorder. Just tap it and go.
Okay. And Misfit taps it.
You see the sand begins to trickle out, building on top of itself. As you see the familiar vestige of your mother, Tuli. But again, you can see now, since Naomi's here, the comparison of they look very, very similar. For the only slight difference is that Naomi is older. Again, Naomi looks about maybe middle ages now, and your mother Tuli looks about maybe 30s, early 30s. You see that they continue where they stopped, as they begin to play through, as the scene around you changes, as you find yourself in what looks like to be, you're guessing, maybe medieval ages, as she begins to talk. Of the many memories I hold very dear to me, the memories of the time I spent with your father are some of the ones I hold the most dear to me. I met your father in the most unlikely circumstances, as I met him at the fall of Constantinople, but not for the reasons you might think, as he saved me. You see, it opens up. City is under siege by various Ottoman forces trying to get control of the jewel of the Mediterranean. You see crumbling around you, and you see your mother Tuli young, very vigorous, defending the walls with all their might. At the time, I was working with the city to withhold the attacks as a mercenary for hire. I've been doing this for some time since the death of our mom, and I used it as an outlet for my anger. You see, she takes one of the siege towers and kicks it single-handedly, destroying the entirety of it, as she manages to get a couple swords and shooting various men. Sadly, though, that particular day, I became bravely wounded. As you see, they get hit with a cannon, boom, boom, fall off the side, down onto the ground, bleeding. That was when your father saved me. And what you see next confuses you. You have this idea of your father as a warrior or stately man, but what you see before you is really almost like a scrawny being. Same height, of course, younger. You see his glasses and looks more like a scholar rather than any sort of figure of nobility. You see, he comes rushing in, grabbing your mother and dragging her as other people come to help. Out of all the things your father claimed to be, in reality, he was just a skinny, shy scholar who admired humanity's creativity in the arts. You see, it changes to your father studying the Hagia Sophia. At the time, he was studying the architecture of the Hagia Sophia, as it was known throughout the world at the time. But sadly, he got stuck in the city during the siege, and if it wasn't for him, I may have died. You see, time passes as he nurses your mother back to health. He healed me that day, and over time, I got a fondness. I will not lie. But after the siege was done, we parted ways. And I will say, Miss Foot, no matter what your father is, he was the most kindest, most considerate person I've ever met at that time, and I was instantly swooned with him. We started to meet time after time as we see time passes through the eras. Them meeting once again by accident, dates turn into vacations until it eventually turns into marriage. We see that time passes even more as they find your parents, your mother pregnant, and your father looking off into a woodland area. It's maybe arid in nature, so it's kind of like that wintry vibe. When we got married, and by the time we had your brother Xanabar, we decided we needed a place to settle down. Not only to raise a family, but also we felt as people of extraordinary stances that we needed a place to form a community where we didn't have to hide from what we are. And we decided to find a place near the Black Forest. And I must tell you, Miss Foot, it was the happiest, most beautiful memories I have ever made. As we see a community is built, almost a town, a castle is built in the distance, we see that it is not a country for conquering, but for refuge. With that, we grew the community, and I gave birth to 3 more beautiful children. And we see that your siblings begin to be born, grow up, going around the castle. And we see that it cuts down on what looks like to be a party. It's in this sort of homey vibe. For you, Miss Foot, this is a new feeling for you, I would say. As this feels like what you have read, what you've always wanted. A home and a warm hearth to go to. You see your father happy with your mother. You see the other twins are there. Naomi's there drinking her ass off. You see the other one seems to be quiet, but enjoying themselves. Your siblings running about. You recently just born. And we see that it continues on as there's just a smile as your mother's on one end and your father's on the other. You can see that even the image of the recording is taken back by this scene. It was our home, and I had my sisters, and I could have everything I ever wanted. But sadly, this would come to an end around the time of your brother's Tyr's birth. As you see, it almost on the sort of party that's going on here, it seems to be kind of a baby shower in a sense. But there is an omen, there's an ill will here, there's something in the air as a prophecy is spoken. It's a lot for you to take in, but the gist of what you can hear is that these last two children of hers would be the ones that rule this world. And you can see the horror not only on your mother, but your father as well. You see that they are taken back. They're scared, they're in a room together with another figure. As you see what looks like to be an angelic figure with smoke-like wings. They're talking with one another, and you can hear the name Azuli, or Azriel, spoken out. They're concerned for their child. You hear the narration come back on. Azriel knew what would happen, but they assured us, and we assured them, that your father and I had no intention on ruling the world, as we just wanted a family, that's it. But sadly, other individuals, not just angels, had different ideas. And it cuts right quick to the night of your brother Tyr's birth as your castle is under siege. You see that the homes on the outskirts of it are on fire. You see that she's finally given birth to Tyr. But you can also hear that your father, they're at the door. You see he's covered in blood. You see that we can't escape. You see Tuli begin to get up moments after giving pregnancy to a child of a demonic nature, which is another thing into itself. Go. Tuli, I said go. You see, he grabs Tyr, grabs the rest of you. You're there as well. You don't remember this, but maybe because you were too young. But you see your father begin to rush down. Your mother begins to suit themselves up in that almost alien-like armor. Our home, our community came under attack. And in that moment, I felt fear. But not for my death, but for the price I knew I had to pay, Miss Foot. And you start to see the narration and the recording begin to become one. As this narration isn't just a journal, this is the last recording. Miss Foot, no matter what happens to you or your family, I just want you to know I've always loved you. I know you will become a beautiful, responsible, hopefully respectable young man. But for the most part, Miss Foot, no matter what happens, know that your family loves you. No matter how much of a pain in the ass they may seem, and believe me, I know, they will always love you for who you are. Your father included. He may hide it very well, but he cares about you. So do the rest of your siblings. You see, the recording almost touches you, like they can see you where you are, looking you in the eye. I love you, Miss Foot. And I know you will do great things for this world. But whatever you do, don't end it. Not because I'm saying it or because it's the right thing to do. It's because there's so much beauty in this world. There's so much free will that I've never experienced in my life. The happiest memories I've ever made were here. And that doesn't deserve to end because of a prophecy made by some old woman with half an eye. I love you, Misfoot. Know that. And you see the recording ends there as the sand goes back.
Before the sand goes back, as Tuli is reaching out towards Misfoot, I think Misfoot reaches back and tries to hold Tuli's hand. Probably can only kind of half do it with this sand hologram situation happening, but they try because I think it's the first time anybody has ever told Misfoot that they love him and meant it. And hearing that, I think everything else, all of the information that he has gotten kind of fades into the background as soon as she says that. And it takes a while, even after the recording is done and the sand is piled along the floor at their feet, that Misfit just kind of is shocked, dumbfounded, still processing. And finally, kind of kneels down on the ground around the sand, looks over at Naomi, and asks, Azrael, Angel, what do they have to do with all this? Why did my parents go to them?
Well, Azrael was the one who foresold the prophecy. They were concerned that since they were the only one who knew about it, that they would have to report to higher authorities, especially with beings that think themselves the protectors of the world tend to go overboard in my personal experience. And angels at the time were a bit zealous.
Did you know that Azrael had kids?
I did. Only at the last minute when I found the directory, and hence why I hid it.
So you knew?
I didn't know until I found the directory, which was about in the 60s.
But you knew.
At a time, yes.
Why have you been keeping all of this from us?
Because to speak it into existence is to invite trouble. It is the reason why my sister died. It is the reason why I have been able to hold Vic back from turning into a siphon. It has been the reason why Heaven had a normal life until she picked up Kelgar. When you speak these things into existence and when you acknowledge a destiny, many tend to think that is the only path down that they have to take. And it's complete horseshit, to be very honest.
Have you ever considered that keeping your secrets is exactly what pushed us on these paths?
I don't know, Miss Foot. I haven't been exactly a great parent. It's still a new thing for
You're
me.
not my parent. You stole me from my parents.
I didn't steal you. You were here by accident, and by the time I try to send you back, something Eden did, and I tried my best. It's not to say that I'm not gonna stop trying, but I care for you. You are my relations. You are one of my sister's children. I will always protect you the best way I can.
You never gave me a choice. I never knew that I had a choice. All of this time, you say that telling somebody about a destiny makes them think that that's the only way to go. What about mine? I've been raised to believe that I'm the fucking prince of hell, that I am going to be the one to end this world and bring in a new one. And, Mom, Mom didn't want that. And I have a choice. And I didn't know, and you never told me. So if you want to talk about forcing people down paths,
I see there's a hesitance in her. You see that she almost retracts back to the papers she's trying to hide, holding them tightly. I'm trying my best, Miss Foot. I know that's not a lot, but it's what I can provide after being gone and trying to solve this problem.
fine. Then answer me this. You said that Dad would want to try to end the world out of vengeance. I still don't understand that. Vengeance for
Well,
what? For destroying that town?
He tried to live a normal life. He was destined as the devil, and you know how that already is in every other kind of text. Imagine it being you. He didn't want that life, and your father was no warrior until the day of your mother's death. He vowed that he would destroy the world for not only taking his beloved wife, but also for ruining the life he had. He was lucky enough to get you children out of safely.
Well, I don't have to imagine what that's like. Because I'm living it. That is me. You know what? Maybe your world doesn't deserve to exist.
Now hold on, that's not... Look, what happened was a very bad thing, yes, but does that mean that millions upon billions of people should die because of the mistake of a bunch of stupid people that thought they were better than everybody else?
Well, isn't that what you've been doing all this time? Controlling our lives, not just mine. Everybody else's.
I haven't been controlling, and you see that your conversation, which could go on forever, gets interrupted as you see Vasco. I am sorry. I just need to... Naomi, I need you. I think I may have gotten another AD here. Be right there, Vasco. Look, Misfoot, don't do anything rash. That's all I ask. I know it's a lot to ask, but don't do anything rash.
Fine. Go.
You see she proceeds to walk out in a hurry.
Does she leave the papers behind?
Even or odd.
Oh, you already rolled. I'm sorry, I saw it. I'm sorry, I saw it.
Oh, you saw it?
I saw it. I'm in roll 20. You're gonna have to roll again. And I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with even. Roll again.
Lucky. You see that the papers are left behind.
Misfit's gonna go look at them. Where are these papers that she was hiding?
You see specifically that these papers have a picture of an individual you've never seen before, black and white. See brown hair, and they look similar to Naomi, but slightly different. You can see typing on the font of it seems to be in the early days of the agency, and you can see Agent Alejandro Maribel. M-I-A, oh, I'm sorry, K-I-A. And what you see... Oh, sorry.
Above table, am I supposed to recognize this name?
You don't? I don't believe so.
I don't know what you're saying, CJ. Say your words unmuted.
Isn't that Naomi's last name? Wouldn't we know that?
It is
That is her
Mirabelle.
last
That
name,
is her
so
last
yeah,
name,
so-
yes.
Yeah.
But for the most part, yeah, you don't know who Alejandro is. But from what you can see, there is a picture of not only them with what looks like to be a crew of people hanging over a Sherman tank during the Second World War, but you also see an earlier photo of him as a child and Naomi in the back, smiling, as they seem to be posing for a picture.
Is Naomi an adult in this picture?
Yes. You also can see, just on a stamp on the top right, that says the Mythic Initiative.
Misfit makes a note of that and is going to, I think, spend a little more time in this room with the necklace. I think they replay it a couple times just to see their mother, just to hear her voice again, just to hear her tell him that she loves him a few more times before putting it on, tucking it away, and walking out.
You replay it over and over, and it's like a hologram in a sense. And you can play it. There's different variations because they've always ended it with "I love you" on their notes. As you go through various life stages of them saying they love you, and we cut over to what looks like to be Heaven's room. At the moment, Vic, you're there. Heaven's still healing up. It still hurts a little bit, and they're still getting used to their new stuff. But what do we find you two doing? And I would assume that maybe Eden's in the back, or maybe went off somewhere right quick to get them food.
This is a question to Vin. Is Heaven like awake?
At the moment, yes, kind of hazy, that little in between. They're trying to read
Yeah.
a book. It's not happening. They're kind of like nodding ever so often, but they're fighting to stay awake.
Yeah. I think Vic is sitting bedside. Just kind of I think Vic is like playing the paddle that they had kind of a while ago, trying to keep busy. But I think Vic kind of notices that Heaven is falling asleep. So I think Vic kind of just like takes the book, just kind of let it and just go to sleep. Just
I was reading. I was reading.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no. Now you can read sheep. You know, like
You
as
can't. I don't think you can read
as
sheep.
like
That's not a thing that
they
you can
hop
do.
over.
But
like,
that's not reading. I think you
I
meant
mean,
counting, and you're trying to make a joke. But
I was, but anyway, I think Vic just like puts a hand on like their eyes. Just go to sleep. Just let it be cute. Go to sleep.
so we're just gonna ignore what happened. Are we just what are we doing?
Well, you've been in and out of consciousness, you know, because
Yeah,
not quite monster. I'm healed, so I'm good. If that's what you're referring to.
sure, for the sake of whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. I get it. I mean, like, what are we supposed to talk? You're would you want me to get you a cake? Congratulations.
Do I need a cake?
I mean, like it's kind of like a second. It's like a birthday or like a coming out.
It's. I thought you only needed to come out once.
I actually, I think. I mean, like, I. Yeah. Okay. So it's not a coming out.
Yeah, this is. I don't think you give a caterpillar a cake for coming out as
Oh.
a butterfly.
Yeah, but they
or
like
a
they eat a lot. So like, okay, I'll put a rain check on the cake.
yeah.
But you are an angel. Better question: Are we like
Are we?
a like a
Are,
are we like a thing now or like?
do you want it to be a thing?
I mean, like we can.
Really?
I mean, yeah. I don't necessarily, and I mean, like we can like talk more, but I don't necessarily see it as see us any differently. You know,
I know.
we're still us.
I'm kind of like fluctuating between consciousness, but I know your track record, so I don't. We have to.
That's I have. Okay, you know, I'm gonna. I think that like shuts Vic up. You know. Oh my god. Oh shit. Oh fuck.
It's
Speaking of
something.
nope, I just remembered I never talked to Dell. You know, after the whole death thing. Also, don't let that impact my track record. Like me and Frank aren't a thing. We're buds.
I think that's when they voluntarily lay back.
You like lay back. Like, okay, Vic gets up. I'm gonna maybe fly to go talk to Dell or not. Who knows? Please, I think Vic is like wishing right now so desperately for an AD to appear. So they're gonna, but they're gonna
Eden
leave.
wakes up.
Vic, what are you talking about?
Hey, Eden, woohoo, this is great. Bye. And then like speeds out of the room.
And Eden was like holding 2 cups of tea, you know, maybe 3 cups because they knew Vic was in here. Yes, it's a little sweet. And now they just kind of like look at all 3 teacups and they're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this now? You're asleep and Vic's gone. I guess they're all for me. And they set them down on Heaven's bedside table and kind of make their way over to their chair, which is just a rickety old kitchen chair that they have been sitting in for Check's watch however long Heaven's been in here, taking no breaks. They've been in here for at least 2 days straight, literally never ever leaving his bedside. And they kind of settle themselves back down into it and take like one long look at them. Does Heaven seem like mostly asleep now?
Yeah. Just slowly drifting back into it.
And they give a fond softening as they're like alone. Like something about the edges of Eden become gentler. And they pick up the book that Heaven was reading and they kind of like flip through it. Just a few pages and they go, trashy romance, seriously, before putting it back on the table. And eventually, after like a long period of silence, to make sure that Vic doesn't come back, to make sure that Vasco doesn't come in with any more like triage treatments, to make sure that Naomi doesn't come by, Heaven eventually starts talking. And I think they kind of like, they take Heaven's hand in theirs for a moment. I am proud of you. I hope you know. And you have me worried sick because I don't know what it means, what you've done, what you did together. But I am proud of you. And I'm glad you did it. Because for all my meddling, for all of my ambition, I really could never give you what you wanted. But you found it, I think. I think you have. Your own destiny. Your own choice. Not weighed down by my past mistakes, your past mistakes, a fucking sword's past mistakes. I'm proud of you. I've always been proud of you. And I hope you know that I will love you more than life itself until the day the sun goes dark. So just heal up, okay? And while you're settled in your new destiny, I'm gonna go try to find mine, okay? And they sit there for a long moment before we look down and they realize that they've been playing with something in their hand. A red compass with ruby-edged gems laid into it, the point of which is spinning, and spinning, and spinning, and spinning, and spinning. And Eden stands up, and they lean over and they plant a kiss on Heaven's forehead. This is my destiny. I hope you can forgive me one day. And they leave.
Eden, do you activate this device?
Yes. Eden goes back to the room that they've prepared. They step through the salt circle. They bloodlet as they need to. They take off their gloves to reveal 2 brand new tattoos, red inked eyes on their palms. They place the compass to their forehead, to their heart, and down at their feet. And they go to hell.
It's almost like you're getting spinned around in the jungle gym. You're kind of spinning, 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 spinning. You see blue flame begin to as you find yourself waking up. You're in some sort of, you seem like in a palace room of some sort, as you see an individual who you've never seen before in your life, with red hair, about a good amount of hair scruffle around their face of fire, charcoal kind of dark skin and glaring red eyes, writing on parchment. You see, he goes, "Tia, I thought I'd just send you out to give papers to one of the nearby lords. What are you doing back?" Not looking up.
Beg your pardon, but I think that if you sent Tyr out, they must still be on your little mission.
You see, he stops writing, looks up into your eyes,
Good evening, sir.
observes, continues to write. "And what do I have the pleasure, who do I have the pleasure of addressing?"
And Eden, to all their credit, cocks their head to the side, standing very straight with both of their hands kind of clasped behind their back, and they approach confidently, walking up to the king of hell itself. "I'm surprised you don't know me. I'm very familiar with you and your family."
Is that so?
"Yes. I am a little bit insulted. Your son also calls me daddy."
You see, he chuckles. "Please have a seat."
Appreciated. And Eden takes a seat.
"Would you like a bottle of wine or something to temper your nerves?"
"No, please. I wouldn't want to bother you.
"Oh,
I
you're in
expect
hell.
this will be brief."
So, you see, he puts his glasses to the side, paper down, looking at you at ease. "How can I help the so-called lover of my son?"
I wouldn't say that, but I have a few questions if you don't mind me asking.
Please, you
Some
have.
important questions that involve the future of everything, I suppose.
I am an open book.
Are you familiar with the Angel of Death?
Intimately.
Intimately. That's very interesting. You see, In the text that they have at the Vatican, the schism between devils and angels is quite severe. How do you know this angel of death? So intimately familiar.
We used to be friends. Not everyone has that same ideology going into it.
Used to be. What happened?
They opened their mouth.
Shame. Hate it when that happens.
It's a dangerous business.
And do you have anything of your past friends? Artifacts, memories, mementos, even? Anything I could take off your hands to get the weight of his memory off of your mind?
Oh no.
I hear you keep a great treasure hoard.
I do, but you see he turns around, arms crossed, at his desk. Why would I want to give everything or anything at all to the so-called boyfriend is really stretching it, a partner in this case? What right do
Eden,
you have?
Eden smiles a little bit before reaching into their robe and pulling out Aur's cursed book. I'd be willing to make a trade.
You hear him, War! Call in. You see coming in almost like a cloud of smoke. Hello, Father. How are you? Care to explain why this human has your book? It's not. The wedding, that's the human who shot my beloved. And thank God they only shot him because I would have killed him.
I was doing my best, sir.
You see, he grabs the book, tosses it to his daughter. Lose it again, and you're grounded for the next century. Is that fair? You see, she goes away. Thank you for returning an item of the household back to its original owner, even though they may not deserve it. What would you like in return? Name your price.
Well, perhaps a favor? Stored? If you don't have any artifacts of Asriel's lying around, that is.
I don't think there's anything of interest to you.
You'd be surprised I'm interested in lots of things.
Well, from what I have, the only thing that I do pertain or have obtained is just a simple feather of theirs. Quite rare since they died, and usually the bodies dissipate, so unless you want the Angel of Death's feathers for some reason, I don't think I have anything else I can give you.
Call me sentimental, but I think that'll make a fine trade. After all, it was a good gesture of goodwill to bring the book back to you. So I hope we can be friends.
Let's not get us ahead of ourselves now. And you see he snaps his fingers. What looks like to be a jar of feathers glowing and shimmering. Anything else I can help you with, human?
Yes. Actually. About your son Tyr. I was wondering if... Well, you did just mention that you sent him out on a little mission, but I was wondering if we might have the opportunity to meet one of these days. You see, he gave me a great gift when I was young, and similarly to how I brought the book back, I always like to return gifts given to me.
Sadly, my son is indisposed. But I can leave a message. Whether he wants to talk to you or not is his prerogative. He is my second in command and is gaining some popularity among the masses.
Of course. Your family is very popular, after all.
I
Tell
try my
him that
best.
Eden would like to see him. And that I have a dream to meet him.
Very well. Anything else?
Well, and Eden stands up, starts to like almost maneuver around this office space like they're looking and inspecting each of the texts, right? Looking at the fine architecture, everything. There is one more thing. Your son, Misfit. Why are you doing this to them?
The boy has a responsibility to this family. Tyr had this responsibility until he disappeared and was given to the second child.
And how interesting it is. Why now? Why them? Why this world? When you have the entire domain of hell.
Because I
When
am
you've had
not
countless aeons. Opportunity.
I am not satisfied. I have tried to be peaceful with you, mortals, but you are greedy. And I think it's time that order was restored back to that lawless domain you call Earth, or the mortal plane, or whatever you seem to call
I
it.
see. I see. Did Thule agree with you?
You see that when it goes to pushing buttons, you push the button. As you see, he gets up. You see his form go from that normal humanoid to something more monstrous. You see wings bigger than misfoots begin to appear. You see he begins to come almost at the maw, slightly draconic. You see flames begin to form scales. You know nothing of my wife.
Eden, to their credit, doesn't flinch. They just kind of like turn around from whatever book that they were looking on the bookcase. Apologies. So I take it that she disagreed with you then. Why put Misfit in the middle? Why make it their responsibility?
Why do you care so much, little trophy?
That is the first thing that he says that makes Eden's head quirk a little bit. Trophy. I'm sorry, I don't follow.
Oh, did Misfoot not tell you? I assume that you're the lover that they've been talking about. How they want to end the world and bring something to hang on the mantelpiece. Something like eye candy. 'Cause that's what you are, apparently. Just a paperweight among a collection of their things. You should be honored that they even put thought and care to even bring up a discussion.
Eden's jaw sets, unsets, and sets again before they kind of grind the words out. Of course. I am honored to stand in their presence.
I can't wait to have you in my great hall as their pet.
I promise I'm gonna shit on the carpets. I can't help myself. I always cause trouble wherever I go. And here's one more thing that I can tell you, is that if you continue down this path with Misfit, you are not going to like what comes of it. And neither will he. Because whether I make your life hell, if you'll forgive the phrase, here, as a pet, or up there, I promise you that this is not going to work out for you the way you think it will.
And I promise you this. Whoever you care for is in grave danger now. If my son knows who you are, and if you have so caringly reached this, you're part of a bigger plan. My boys, they're schemers. And I think the king also agrees with the plan. But for now, it is not my story. You see him revert back to normal to tell. Please, I hope you know the way out, and I can't wait to have you in our hall. I'll buy a special leash for you, just in case.
I look forward to the day, sir. And Eden turns on their heel. And before they go, with the compass in their palm, they look over their shoulder. And Naomi sends her regards. Sure, you two haven't talked in quite a while, have you? Good night. And they teleport back away.
Fantastic. As the night goes through, we wake up on the next morning. Everyone's still kind of asleep, except for you, Vic, which you're kind of getting up for the moment. You see Vasco is trying to cook breakfast right now with what he can. He's just making eggs and various versions of toast as he's trying to get just the right amount of crisp. You're muted.
I think Vic has been up. I don't think Vic got a good night of sleep. I think Vic has been up thinking about what they're gonna like say to Dell when they run into each other eventually. But you know, Vic, I think Vic is kind of walking through. I think they just wake up from like the 4 to 5 hours of sleep that they got. And they're kind of like walking around the observatory, and then they kind of see Bosco. uh, oh, hey, bud, what you making?
Morning. I'm trying to make eggs and toast. I'm really tired. I spent last night up trying to find the next AD. I think I may have something, but I don't know yet.
I think Vic kind of grabs one of the chairs and kind of like sits it in front and kind of leans on it, with the chair like at their chest, or the back of the chair at their chest. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I was thinking, while I have you here cornered, um, why are you still doing all that? Didn't you get fired?
You see him make a plate, toss it to you. I, you know, my job, first and foremost, is to bring order and to, make sure everything is A-okay in the world. And right now, you seem to be the best bet, in my opinion. And plus, you all remind me of, and you see he kind of catches his tongue for a bit and begins to rub on some dog tags that you really haven't seen before.
And I think Vic kind of touches their dog tags. Were you gonna say something like family or team?
It's a long story, nothing worth hearing anyway. But for the most part, I'm here to help in whatever way, shape, or form I can.
Well, sounds more like it's a story that you don't want to tell, rather than putting your weird expectations on me. Because I'm bored and have time and want to not think about talking to my ex partner times 2.
I've been on that train. And he kind of just gives you an awkward kind of elbow.
Yeah. I think Vic takes a bite. Oh yeah? You meet him at the initiative, or how long have you been at the initiative actually?
I'm I'm normal, except for the wolf. If you see
Yeah,
the
that's
wolf,
not normal.
I'm still human, so I mean, I guess it's as normal as you can be.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Just don't worry about it. It's all part of the plan. It's all.
I think you're okay. Let me start by saying that. I
Thank you.
think you're fine. And it is why I'm going to let you keep doing whatever it is that you are doing and keeping whatever you want. But from one person that used to think they were fine and okay and normal and not a monster and worked at the fucking Mythic Initiative, I'm going to tell you it's cool and fine. And honestly, way more relatable if things aren't cool and fine. You know, bud? I'm just going to put that out there.
Yeah, believe me, I'm a pretty strong guy. I may not look like it, but I am a steel fortress.
Roscoe, I rip through metal on a day-to-day basis. I can fly. I can bite you and kill you before you even expect it. Be a person or be an iron fortress, because do not give me a facade that you are either if you are not one. Understand, bud?
You see, his demeanor changes ever so slightly. Oh, I understand. Completely.
Cool.
You should try the eggs on the toast. I believe it is sublime in my own experience.
Mortal food sometimes makes me sick. And I think Vic kind of already having taken a bite of the toast, puts it down, slides it. And if you're not comfortable sitting in a den of monsters, if you don't want to be with us, or you're just using us, then the initiative can take you back in a body bag, Bosco. Because I'm sure that you know as much as anyone. A lot of us here left that place for a reason. Welcome. It's a little late, but welcome to the team. And I think Vic just leaves at that point.
Before you leave, you see you go and he kind of calls you back. Vic, I think you need to get everybody. I think I know where the AD went.
All right, bud. And I think Vic just goes and grabs folks.
With that, we fast forward ever so slightly. And with that, he goes, all right, everybody, and begins to turn on the TV as you just see the Tonight News. Dun, 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 dun. Good evening, folks of San Argana. It is me, Billie Jean. And with that, I am here to give you the news. What was that? Ah, we have breaking news. Going off to our anchorman, Jeanette, you see, that's right, Billy. I am here at Saints Reed Hospital. Last night, we had an epidemic happening in the city as the officials are dubbing it Red Fever. Cuts to imagery. It all started about a week ago, which originally we thought was the flu season until it turned into something deadly. And you see that it shows images of people with red veins and just freaking out monster-wise against pane glass. You see on another one, you see mutations on the other one, pumping against the glass. We talked with a number of officials from the CDC and also a number of officials from the hospital. You see, it shows an older white man with glasses, very old kind of white hair, maybe late 60s, kind of giving a talk of, yes, the patients have come in. If you are showing any signs of fever or red veins, we highly suggest you get to the nearest hospital and please stay away from family members. We do not know the contagion level and all that stuff there. So please make your way to your nearest healthcare facility. Goes back to the woman. It is advised that you do that. Symptoms usually develop within the first hour, with only one person at the moment only being able to maybe have a possible cure out of. But for the moment, records have been sealed and we do not know. Back to you, Billie Jean. All right, folks, you know what it is. It is that summer vacation time almost, so don't get sick. Now, moving on to 6 o'clock news, and then continues on, turns on the TV. I think I know who the AD here is. Proceeds to pull out another old tome. This time you can date it back to maybe the beginnings of it, almost like the Viking era, so like maybe the early 8th century. Specifically, you are looking for a spirit, forest spirit in particular, that goes by the name of Ingrid. They are, from what legend has it, was a priestess in a village. Apparently the village got sick, and while she was on the verge of death, she had an epiphany and decided that after the village sickness was gone and half the people were dead, that they were better off. So they started to devote themselves to sicknesses and disease as a way of curing the world of its, evilness or whatever. Tried it in England, didn't go as well as you would think it would go. They tried to burn her at the stake, but apparently it only empowered her into a spirit nature. Not fae per se, maybe, but they turned into something dangerous. Yes.
I don't think I want to deal with this. I'll say it. This sounds awful. This sounds like it sucks.
Well, I wasn't done yet. They have been responsible for most of the diseases. Yeah, Black Plague was their piece of the resistance. They did influenza was the last thing they did before they got stopped by Naomi. So they've been responsible for the major plagues of the world. So this might be their next go-to. So mission right now, head to the hospital and try to figure this out.
If we're trying to do the whole mass death and culling of the population thing, I prefer something hotter and less gross than disease.
I don't know what to tell you guys. Not all these AD are clean in that sense. I mean, you got off easy. Again, the last remaining people we have on our docket here are pretty dangerous. Thank God we haven't run into Aries yet, or they would have mopped the floor with you. But for the most part, yeah, it's not gonna be great.
I don't really know if you're one to talk, Vasco, considering that we lost every AD but one.
Yeah, other thing, don't kill them. I think I figured out the reason why the agency didn't want you to do that.
Why? Because they wanted to use them?
That wasn't the point of concern. You see that they pull up the vial of Emorgan as it is broken. Apparently, when you kill one, it empowers the others. So I believe 2 have died. One by your hands, one by somebody else's, apparently. Which means that the rest get a power boost. Apparently, they must have made a pact or something, hence why they work together. Is that if one dies...
Did not kill them. That wasn't us, actually.
It doesn't matter. As long as if they're dead, they're dead. The power gets transferred to the rest of them. So, and then you killed the last one. Also, your mentor's not here, but you did kill their ex that they spent a lot of time with, right?
Who's the last one?
Wait, who?
Oh, fuck. We did kill them. That wasn't really us. I think Vic looks to heaven. That
very intimate relationship. That
above table. Which of the AT is this?
That was the gunslinger.
The gunslinger one.
Right. The Wraith. Yes.
Intimate relationship. Killed him with no mercy. Which I think affected their mental state. But for the care they have for you, they're keeping that deep inside.
Wait, I'm sorry. When you say ex, like, are we talking dated? Like,
we're talking.
Why do you want to know what Naomi did privately?
Because I actually think in this instance, Loverboy, it matters. because there's no, you know what? I'm not going to get into it. I don't know. Do you know
No,
anything
please
about
do. No, please
relationships?
do. Why
Wait,
does it
come on.
matter if Naomi was fucking a ghost?
I'm sorry.
Because
We
she
are
didn't
How would
wasting
tell
time.
us.
People are dying right
How would you
Okay,
feel
all
if
right,
someone killed?
everybody kind of, okay, answer your question. They were going to get married, called it off because homeboy went cuckoo. So that's how close they were. Apparently, he met you on several occasions, Miss Foot. But for the most part, you're going to have to work together
I
here.
really
so
don't remember him, to be honest.
I wouldn't be surprised. You don't seem the kind of person that remembers anything.
Look, I was drunk for a lot of. It's fine. Whatever.
No shit. I have to keep refilling the liquor still, which, you know, the rest of us would like to use. But for the most part, head to the hospital, try to find the AD. If you're trying to find anything, apparently there seems to be one person that I was able to get the records for because I know a guy who knows a guy who knew a guy. There's one person who isn't exhibiting any symptoms and is actually seems to be healing a lot from this. Goes by the name of Rory Peterson. So if you want to look for somebody there, also that doc on TV may be another bet. For the most part, though, you should head to the hospital and be careful. We don't know if it's contagious or not. So
Sorry, hold on. So you don't know if it's contagious and you're sending us there.
yeah, you're all big boys and girls and creatures of the night, so you should be fine.
Okay, all right.
Good. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Any last
Plenty,
minute
but I
banter?
Vic looks to you. You killed Naomi's fucking ex. Jeez.
I did ask, was there any banter left? Thank you, Vic.
I'm not going in first. I'm not getting whatever that is.
Oh,
Well,
why not?
Whatever you all decide.
Why don't
here's
you
the
go in
trap.
first, Vic?
Why don't you make me?
Oh, I'll make you if you really want me to.
Oh,
I'll
Vic
go
Boy gets-
first. I'll just nothing, please. And Evan shoots up and
Ugh.
just walks to the door.
Don't forget the trap. Do not kill them, no matter how tempted or angry or whatever you're feeling on the inside.
Yeah, we'll see.
That wasn't
Is it?
the answer.
Look, we'll do what we want. If anyone's life other than Misfits is in danger, we'll do what we need to.
Look, I don't need you to protect me. I can do that all on my own. Thank you.
Finally.
You do hear just Vasco go, ha! And before he goes away after hearing that. Just an involuntary, just.
I'm gonna fucking kill that man.
We'll just wait a few minutes at least. And Eden holds back for a moment as everyone's starting to pile out and leave. Misfit. Come here.
Misfit, I think, takes a second, but does slow his pace down. What is it?
And Eden gets in his personal space for the first time in a week, maybe? Like, right up on him nearly, and presses something into your hand. Tell your dad I'd like a black leather leash. And they push past you out the door. And in your hand is a compass with red rubies circling it, and it almost looks like a fire burns inside as it spins around and around and around.
Would I know anything about this item just by looking at it?
You know this belongs to your great-great-grandfather, as he apparently got too drunk too many times and had a hard time of just getting home just because he was stoned out of his mind. So he made a device to make it easier for him to return back and forth with no physical exertions on himself, which means this device can get you home and back.
And Misfit looks at this compass. Looks up at Eden, who I assume is walking away, and did not stay. And Misfit just kind of pockets it. We're going to deal with that later. And follows.
As we all proceed out into the great wide world of another day. That is where we shall take a break. So, use the bathroom and all that good stuff, and we'll be right back. Hello, everyone, and welcome back from break. With that, let us get started as we fast forward as you drive around the edge of the hospital. You can see that it's people are still coming in and out. Again, you can see there seems to be your standard, typical, hospital setting. You also know that there's a CDC truck outside as well at the moment, but there doesn't seem to be a high alert. I mean, right now it hasn't spread all over the city. People are, worried, but for the most part, you can walk in the main lobby at the moment. So, with that, what would you all like to do?
I think the first thing that Eden does before we even get out of the car is they're going to try to put up a ward using my force of will move to apply my will, dispelling a magical effect, blocking a spell, or suspending a phenomenon, just in a bubble around us, so that if this thing were to try to get at us, that it can't. That's what they're going to try to do.
Please roll for me.
I will do just that. Plus weird. Okay, that is 5, 10.
10. Successfully, you all are. You can see it almost an invisible force field of some sort goes around you, still able to breathe. But at the moment, you can walk in and out of anywhere in this hospital and be completely fine.
Even still, Misfit, I think, does this like mock bow and like twirls his arm to Heaven. You promised you would go first.
I did, didn't I? And they do just that. Simple as can be.
Question: are you walking through the main lobby, or you want to walk through the ER? Because those are two separate entrances. So I don't know which one you want to walk through.
I guess the ER.
Fantastic. Walking into the ER, standard scene. You see there's a bunch of people here for a number of medical needs that aren't specifically the one you're looking for. And at the moment, the person working the desk seems to be just a lady, early 50s, looks absolutely abysmal, like they haven't slept in a very long time, drinking on a coffee that says best nurse in the world, and is just very tired at the moment. Orange hair, tannish skin, looks up at you. Yes, can I help you?
I was hoping that I could see an above game. I forgot the name. Who was the patient? Like he was showing who has it, but not.
Rory Peterson.
Okay. I was hoping to see Mr. Peterson if he's awake, if that's okay.
Any relation to Mr. Peterson?
A cousin.
A cousin.
Yes.
Manipulate someone for me, please.
All right, let's go. Boy, what is my new charm? All right. Big money, no whammies. An 8.
8. Fine, but only 2 of you can go up at once, so the other 2 have to stay back here.
Okay, that's okay. I'm sorry. A little clarification. 2 as in me and 2 other people, or
2 as in you and another 1 person.
of course, that's why you're the best nurse in the world.
We got a jokester here, Dean.
Oh, I was being sincere. Okay, I'm going to go get that other person. At what room?
407.
Like the cleaner. Okay. And they're just being as jovial as they can be until they turn around and just stop back out. Okay, I'm going to need someone brave to come with me. Any volunteers?
Shouldn't you take Eden because of the whole bubble, or are we not worried about that?
I didn't want to volunteer.
They can reach. Vic, you should go with them.
Yeah, okay. Plus, you and Misfit can just go for whatever, right?
Right.
Cool. Yeah, I'll go. Let's go.
Don't
Okay.
get sick.
I hope you get sick.
If you get sick, I'm gonna kill you on the spot.
You don't see it, but you can almost feel it. Vic just rolls their eyes.
Fantastic. So with that, you two go to the ER. You two that are outside Misfit and Eden, what are you guys gonna do?
I think Misfit actually pulls Eden aside, like just like off to the side somewhere of the hospital. Maybe there's like benches or like tables like on the lawn of the hospital, and kind of pulls Eden to
Vending machine.
vending machine somewhere. The terrible neon light and coming from the fluorescent light coming from inside. And Misfit pulls out the compass and holds it out for Eden to see. How long have you had this?
Day and a half.
How did you get it?
What does it matter?
Well, of course it matters. What, all of a sudden you know where to look for a family heirloom that's been missing for a century, at least?
Consider that it was missing from your family for a century at least. How long do you think that it took me to find it?
Why not tell me?
Would that have changed anything?
I could have come with you.
No, darling. You'll set fire if you step foot in a church.
Okay, maybe not in with you, but I could have helped. You didn't even...
Yes, because you liked working with Jax so much.
Okay, Jax is kind of a knob, and I think even you think that, but that's not the point. The point is that you just disappeared for 7 years. You left without saying anything or reaching out.
Yeah, must suck when your favorite toy goes missing.
I take it you've used it.
I hope you don't find that offensive. I wanted to make sure that I got what I was promised.
What were you promised?
A portal. A working portal that could take anyone to and from hell.
I'm working on that. You don't have to worry about that. But my dad...
It was my problem that I made. So yes, I do have to worry about it. And now, I've solved the problem.
Eden, my dad is not... My father is not a kind man. Not an understanding man, I'm sure. King of Hell, the devil himself. You understand that? Right?
Of course. Neither is the Pope.
Hmm.
Neither is God.
Two sides of the same coin. So you understand that Devil of Lies needs to lie to get by, right?
I don't follow.
Just don't take what my father said to you, whatever it is that he said to you, at face value. That's all.
No. Because last time I checked, your father was the King of Hell, not the Devil of Lies.
No, but the things that... I said to him what I needed to. That's all.
You see,
And I
as you're
said what I
having
needed
this
to.
conversation, you see, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get a soda. Do you mind?
Can you come back later, please? There's like a vending machine down over
But
there.
this one's cheaper here, and I only
They
got
cost the
3
same.
There's nothing left inside. It's fucking sold out. Go to the other one.
You sure? Because it looks pretty.
No, I actually
I said
bought
it's
all
sold
of them.
out.
All right. Fucking Christ. And we see as you're bickering between these two, the conversation continues. But before we do, you see that as you two are busy on one another, a motorcycle pulls up as we see a boot get down as they begin to make their way into the ER without you two noticing. Is there anything else you want to say before we move on to our other?
I think Misfit just, after the person leaves and like already kind of like kind of like agitated at this point, just kind of like grabs Eden's wrist, burning his hand in the process, and just says, Eden, I don't understand. I am the devil of lies, but what does that make you? Fucking angel?
Don't start.
I have to start. And I don't know if you know, but our parents may have known each other.
Your father said he was old friends.
Yeah, old friends. Your parent. I don't know if that's the right word. Parent, but
Don't say that to me, please.
okay. The angel of death, Azrael, is the one who is the reason that I'm here. Is the reason that I'm like this. The prophecy, all of that. They're the one who said it, made it, brought it into existence. Just, what does that make you?
And Eden looks at you for a really long time. I don't know yet.
No?
The one who summoned you, I guess.
I don't think you understand the question that I'm asking you, Eden. And Misfit like goes to their shirt and kind of like tugs open very gently like their shirt so that you can see 6 horns on the goat tattoo. What does that make you when the time comes?
A trophy?
What do you...
But we both know that's not true. Oh, it pings as a lie.
What do you want to be?
I don't know yet. True.
Decide quickly. And I think Misfit turns their attention finally to the entrance of the hospital, where they figure maybe they should pay attention to who's coming in and out.
And you do a fantastic job guarding that. As we cut upstairs to our 2 other hunters here. As you're in the elevator and as you come out, you see what looks like to be just a wing. At the moment is got just the yellow banners that are set up very haphazardly. You see somebody in the front, mask on, kind of, can I help you?
401. Vic looks to heaven, right?
407.
407.
There you
Roy
go.
Peterson up. Down the hall to the left. Do not pass the yellow banners.
Okay.
The 2 of you, can you please roll me investigate a mystery as you are walking down this hall?
Yeah. I think as we're walking, Vic's also kind of talking to heaven. So I think I'm gonna kill Misfit.
You think?
Yeah.
When I say this, I'm not I'm not endorsing what I'm about to say next. When you have intent, you need to do more than think. So instead of saying, I think I'm going to, you should just say, I'm going to. And then I will pretend I didn't hear you say that.
Aw, you'd let me
Wait.
commit a murder? How romantic. I did get a 10 on Investigate a Mystery.
Let
Fantastic.
me
What about
roll.
you? Okay. So distracted.
I got a 3.
Hey! So one, you're like, wait, murder. And then you're like, put a little follow through. For you, Vic, you have 2 options here you can ask. So you got your list there of what happened here, what sort of creature it is, what can it do, what can hurt it, where did it go, what was it going to do, and what is being concealed here as you are at the cusp of the door to Rory Peterson's room. So what do you want to answer there?
Yeah. What's being concealed here is my question. First question.
First question, you can see what is being concealed here. You see that, as you walk to a hospital, the doors are usually open for some patients, and you notice that there is a particular set of flora or plant life that is here that doesn't look like it fits in with the aesthetic of the place. You see that the flower itself is almost like a bluish red and really stands out in the room, especially when it's kind of a white hospital-esque. And you see it's placed in every room.
Oh, very weird. Clocking that. Vic doesn't know what to do with that, but realizes it. And I think Vic wants to. I think I'm going to ask what sort of creature is it, but specifically in regard to Rory.
You enter into the room. You can see this place used to be a bubble room in a sense. It was one of these rooms that were kept off, but not because anybody was particularly sick. It was to keep outside forces from coming in. So this person, whoever it is, must have been hypersensitive to some
Oh,
stuff. But
okay.
you see, it's been taken down, which you're like concerned for the person in the room, like it's down, this person's gonna die. But you can see that perfectly fine. At the moment, you see what looks like to be a young man, most likely what you can tell is in about mid-20s, doing push-ups like no tomorrow, like it's at ease. Brown skin, hair that's kind of shaggy, kind of going to the down. As you see, he's just in sweats doing push-ups, gets up. Howdy there. I
Yeah.
didn't see you.
Vic is the last thing Vic's going to say to Heaven as we kind of walk in. Yeah, I'm probably going to, like, more than probably, I'm definitely going to do it if Misfit pisses me off, but we'll talk about it later. Hi. Hey. You Rory.
That's right. My name's Roy Peterson. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, we're here to. How do I say this? How are you healthy?
Personally, I don't know. It could be a sign from a higher power, but for the most part, I feel as fit as a fiddle, and I have not felt this good in quite some while.
I have firsthand experience to tell you that is definitely not what's going on, but I will let you have this delusion. Could you tell us more about what happened to you?
Yeah, sure. Are you doctors?
Yeah, and I don't think
Manipulates.
I
Somewhat
think
funny.
Nick's just gonna be like, and I don't think, and I really, really am going to stress that just don't ask more.
Manipulate somebody else as you go. Yeah, we're doctors, but don't get into it. Not
I
concerning at
want to
all.
fail. I want to fail
Can
this.
I help out possibly?
Roll to help out
I
right
want to
quick
fail
to
this
see.
so bad. What's manipulate someone add?
Charm. Let's see if you get a +1 from Heaven here.
Okay. Oh boy.
I'll wait.
As you just see, a
Gay love,
mild
gay
threat
love.
was just made.
6. Never mind.
You're in awe that you're like, they got this. No, they
Oh,
don't.
god damn it! I got
What'd you
an
get?
8.
An 8? So not
Yeah.
bad. Well, I would love to tell you more about it, but I think I need a doctor in here because I don't know exactly how this works. So, you see, he presses a button to call a doctor.
Hey.
Dr. Hope, he
Mm.
should be here right in a
know what?
quick second.
Yeah, let's wait. Rory. No. How do I do this? Heaven.
Yes.
Am I supposed to escalate or de-escalate in this situation?
I'm concerned that you had to ask. Downward. You don't want to bring things up.
All right, fine. I'll wait for the doctor.
You see an older man walks in and goes, "What is the meaning of this? Who are you people?"
Hey, old man. Oh, actually, and Vic's not using this on purpose, but Vic's gonna be like, hey, sir. And Vic is going to like inherently use the soothe move. So whenever Vic talks in a low voice, basically all of this person's woes disappear. To be more specific, when you talk to someone for a few seconds in a quiet voice, you can calm them down, blocking any panic, anger, or negative emotions that they have. This works even if the thing that is freaking them out is still present, but as long as your voice can be heard. And I think Vic just kind of walks up, hearing that they should de-escalate the situation, places a gentle hand on this old doctor's shoulders and says, "Hey, sir, I am from a very, very concerned group of people, and we want to make sure that our friend Rory, actually, we're with the Divine Church, Catholics and all that. We're actually very, very concerned with just the miraculous miracle that has happened here, and we just would like some more information on that." And
Why
I
did you?
think, yeah,
You see, bro. Why did you just say so? My mama go to church all the time, and she does say to look out for the high power. But for the most part, yeah, I would have answered your questions. He would have just said you was some good church, church folk. I would love to answer questions now.
wonderful.
You see well, we do know he does attend a community miraculous recovery. Mr. Peterson was phenomenally known for being hypersensitive to a number of ailments from the outside world. He spent quite some time with us here, but apparently he seems to be not only in great peak physical health, he seems to suffer no symptoms from anything in the outside world. It seems that he's making a full 180, which is miraculous to the rest of us.
Lord, Lord bless you, Rory. Uh, did anyone come in here and like talk to you in the last, I don't know, like week, month?
No, not really. I was let out of the hospital for a little bit for the holidays, and I usually help out with my mom's flower shop. But then at the same time, I felt a little woozy next to one of the plants. We usually bring them over, but I a little woozy. I came down here, got sick for a little bit, but then I completely fine. So I've been doing all right.
Yeah. Do you happen to remember like what flower that was?
Yeah, well, the ones that are here, we stock some of them in the new hospital because my mama like to help the hospital a lot. So there is them plants over there, same plant that you noticed throughout the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah. They open up very beautifully in the summertime because usually they're kind of like inside or like that, but then when spring come out in summer, they tend to come out and then it looks all beautiful like.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I think Vic's gonna walk over to the doctor, still in that low voice. "Hey doc, could you like go get me a jar?
Of what?
Like an empty jar."
Sure. All right, just don't do anything weird with it. And
No,
proceeds
no,
to.
never.
You see, he just real quick gets a jar, puts it there.
Thank you. And Vic's just gonna put the flower in the jar and like close it.
If you're looking for some more stuff or anything like that, we have some in the closet if one of you want to follow me to get some more, in case you
Like,
want more, I don't know.
More flowers? Or
Flowers or jars, I don't know what your people's stick is.
do
I
you
think we have what we need.
more flowers?
Well, yeah, we have some in the utility closet, so we just have some saved. We didn't know what to do with them, so I mean, if you guys want plants for your church or whatever, I can
Yeah,
bring you over
we'll
there.
take those
Sure.
too.
Of course.
I'm gonna need some help, so
Oh, I'll go.
Yeah.
I would be honored to tour the facility, as it were.
fantastic. Having you go off We see Vic. Are you still staying with Rory?
Sure. Yeah.
Fantastic. We see at this point as you are walking with them, Heaven. Fling, we see the elevator pop up. We see that same figure that got off the bike begin to walk out. Heaven, you reach around the corner. You see he unlocks it. Should be in there.
They open the door. Go for some flowers.
Open the door. You see that this isn't a utility closet. This just seems to be the lab where they just do blood work and whatnot.
Now I'm new here, but I'm not new to hospitals, of course. I don't think this is the right room,
You
sir.
see, oh, my mistake. And proceeds to push you and lock the door.
All right, cool. Of course, of course, of course, that's what happened to me. Of course.
You
They're having that
hear
little moment first.
creaking behind you. You see the lights begin to flicker. You see in the far back, there seems to be oak that is just embedded in the wall begin to you see a creature begin to make its way out of the wood with a skull like head of a deer. Begin to almost 6-7 feet tall, looking dead at you.
Instinctively, Heaven goes for Kel, and that's when it finally registers. His sword isn't here. It's been awfully quiet behind him. And kind of stuck at the moment.
As you hesitate, you begin to see they open their chest as you see the creaking of wood. You see crows begin to come and peck at you. You take 2 harm. As you
Oh,
did
great.
get pecked by crows that are just swarming around you.
Okay. And I think now that they're taking harm, they are going to react with some new divine powers. I would like to use Smite.
Ooh, please do. So kick some ass if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Let's see. Took money in the whammies. Ooh, that is a 13.
Ooh, so what happens with the smite? Please let us enlighten us. What does smite do?
Uh, since they really haven't had time to like figure out what they are at this point, they're just swatting at the birds, unfortunately. And I think with a bit of aggression, their hand glows and like rakes over like a magical backhand.
With that, poof, you hit them. They go through the wall. Vic, you begin to hear something crash coming from down the hall.
Hey, Rory.
Yep.
Have you been hearing any weird noises while you've been here?
Not sorry. Only the noises that come for the patients, which is usually screaming agony. But for the most part, no, nothing.
I'm
Nothing
sorry,
there.
screaming. Okay.
Well, you know, the pain, it hurts so much, kind of deal.
Hey, I
I
don't
thought
think
it was
that's
just a
supposed to happen.
hospital.
That's not supposed to. Hey, bud. You know what? Just open. So, what floor are we on? 4th?
4th level.
Yeah, I think Vic it's time for you to go and just like opens the window and says, "Come here,
I don't know about
come
that.
here."
You see, as he backs away, you see almost like camouflage coming out, cloaking out of it. You see the same wood-like creature with a skull horn beginning to grab Rory and puts him in his
Yeah.
chest, not killing him, but storing him.
That's what I was worried about, bud.
Shoots crows in your directions. You take 2 harm as well as you see a bunch of
Nice.
crows
Yeah.
begin picking at you.
I think Vic is a little worried about Rory because to Vic's knowledge, they're a normal fucking person. So I think Vic's gonna like speed out of the crows and like try to grab Rory and like leave.
kick some ass for me, please.
Yeah, easy. If I fail this, I'll cry. You all heard it first. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a 12.
So you're trying to get Rory out, right?
Yeah, so I think Vic just kind of like ignoring the birds, and it's like these are fucking birds.
Well,
Speed, yeah, good.
you rolled a plus, so I'm gonna guess you're gonna use force them to where you want them to, because you
Oh,
get the
yes,
extra
I
effects. So
forgot
I think
that's how this works. Yes.
yes.
Force. I forget how to play this game. Kick some ass. CJ literally does understand the game half the time. Yeah, I'm gonna force them where I want, and yeah,
You
I'm
do
not gonna harm
damage
the
to them.
birds. I guess. I mean, are they real birds?
You can harm. We don't know. They seem to be maybe. It looks like a combination of like woodland creatures and birds. You can't tell because they're going too fast and they're trying to go for your eyes. But
Oh,
you're
that's a
kind of just
lot.
like,
I'm gonna suffer less harm, so I guess take one and get Rory somewhere I want him to be.
I'm gonna make this a difficult. Either you minimize the harm to yourself or you get Rory out.
Oh,
Which one?
I don't give. Yeah, no, fuck. I'll take as much harm as I need to. Yeah, I'll just fucking. Then I'm gonna fucking hit the birds with terrible harm, and then go get Rory with force them where I want them.
Yeah, grabbing the clipboard as a shield. With that, you rip, open it up. You see Rory go, "Oh my god, what is that?"
Is he asking me this?
Yes, I'm asking you only
Oh
want the
my
goddamn
god,
room.
shut up! And Vic just like puts him on the shoulder and like flies out the window and puts Rory on the ground. Go live your life or something.
You see, he proceeds to just run into the street.
I have to go
Misfoot
check on
and Eden, you see Heaven come down with just a screaming man who is still in like sweatpants, no shirt, running in the middle of the street.
Did you say heaven?
Sorry, Eden. I'm starting to get
I'm
confused
still
like they're my own
Vic.
children.
I'm Vic.
No, Misfoot and Eden that you can see
Got it.
just coming down, man running in complete fear.
Eden looks away from their fight with Misfit and they go, we should not have left them there alone. Fuck.
Why does that man look like he's been pecked by birds?
I do not want to go. I don't want to know. I also, fuck. Eden is climbing the stairs 2 at a time.
Yeah, Misfit is following as well. And I think we're just gonna follow the sounds of, I assume, cawing and screaming and scraping.
With that, we go back to Heaven as you kind of backhanded the creature. You see it gets ready to, but before it gets to say anything, you see something come out and just throw a spear that is almost shiny and purple, go straight to the neck. As you see, it jumps and just hits it in the head, grabbing the spear back. You see before you an individual that was once in biker's clothes slowly begin to transform, almost like coming off of it. And you see what looks like to be a fey creature. Their skin is covered in scars that are almost like crusted. As you see, they glow purple. You see their eyes is bloodshot, but not of red. You see it's black with a purple iris on one side, a normal eye on the other. As their hair waves purple, you see they have deep, dark black skin. And in what they look like at the moment seems to be some sort of tribal wear to them, as you see that it's a combination of what they were wearing from the bikers combined with necklaces of feathers and seashells. As you see, they sort of end the creature, look at you, and just stare at the moment.
Thank you. I need to find the rest of my. I gotta like a little flustered and try to amble out.
You see, as you ample out, you and the figure side by side, you see the other creature that looks similar in nature sees the two of you, and instead of attacking, you see they take their claws against the yellow paper and begin to rip it. As you just hear just the noise of you see coming out what looks like to be almost infected monsters, werewolves, demons, angels, charging towards you.
Fantastic. She's gonna make a tactical retreat because she does need to find Vic and possibly Eden and Misfit so they can handle this together.
If you'd be so kind for me, act under pressure.
Oh no. Okay. That is cool. I have a -1. Let's see. I might level up tonight. That's a 3.
You try running through. The only way to get out is the same way that they're all coming from. And as you sort of get past one, get past another, you see what looks like to be maybe like a werebear kind of creature grabs you, throws you down in your face as you see the spittle coming out on it. And on the other side, Eden, Misfoot, and Vic, did you join them as well, or did you stay outside?
No, Vic probably would have like flown back up into the
Mhm.
room and just like trekked the way that like Heaven and this doctor would have went.
So with that, you all get on the other side. You see Heaven pinned down, but you also see another creature as well in the far back that seems to be helping, question mark, as you see they charge with no hesitation with a spear, just taking out anything in their way. What would you like to do?
Before we're even on the landing, Eden rips out one of their teeth and turns it into a shotgun. Yet again, the same one as the first episode, made of, it's not marble, it's tooth, but it's an extremely ornate shotgun.
Appropriate for a
Misfit?
hospital
And
setting.
Yeah, you know. I mean, there's monsters in the hallway. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I think Misfit sees the scene and everything that's going on, just kind of goes, "I'm not fucking getting sick," and goes to their pants and takes out their chain, which turns into their hell sword that like activates as they do so. And you said that there were 2 people. One is pinning down Heaven, and the other is in the back helping.
You'd think right now it just looks like they got monsters in their way and they're just chopping down the same way Heaven is. You don't know if it's helping. You don't know if they're just trying to get on with their life.
Okay, in that case, I think Misfit is just going to straight up like running tackle the person that is currently pinning down Heaven.
Both of you, please roll kick some ass.
I got a 13.
Fantastic. What about
Should
you?
Yeah.
do I get to roll plus weird? Do I get to
Yeah.
roll plus weird with my weapon?
I want to say
I don't think I
yes.
do. I
Well,
just
it's
want
not
to.
magic, so
It's
I'm gonna
not
say
magic.
for this, yeah. So just tough for this one.
Okay. I rolled a 7, but I am gonna spend a luck to change that to a 12.
Fantastic. With that, Misfoot, you go in, just dodge over and immediately tackle the person on the ground. As you see, they're in shock that you did this to them. And with that, Eden, you begin to just shoot down the lane. You see creatures come up, you shoot them into nothingness, and you already begin to feel your magic again. You haven't, it's still balancing, but you can already feel that if you cast magic, it's gonna tip one way or the other. But you continue that way. Misfoot, as you're on the person, you see they begin to speak in a number of languages before they get into English. Can you please get off of me?
I think Misfit is like on top of this person and like has them pinned with his sword kind of like at their neck. So like the flames are kind of like licking up at this person's skin. Who are you?
I am the catacomb. Malora, if you would please.
Why are you here?
Now answer that when you turn left.
I think instead of turning left, Misfit like grabs this person in a bear hug and kind of like barrel rolls out of the way beyond whatever is coming at them from their left side, I assume.
You see that you kind of barrel roll, they just throw their spear out. You see it hits a creature before they return it back into their hand. You want to let go so we can get out of here alive?
If I let you go, you don't hurt my friends.
If I wanted to hurt your friends, I wouldn't ask for your permission.
All right. And Misfit gets up off of them to let them help? Question mark?
With that, Heaven, I need you to make just roll a tough check for me, please.
All right. That's a 5.
I haven't
Define.
gone yet. Can I
Your-
please?
Yeah, you could
Your
go next.
dice hate you. What the heck?
Can I
I
kill
don't know
the
what's
thing
going
that's on
on.
top of Heaven?
Please roll kick some ass. So
I
things
wanna
go
level
well.
up.
5.
Failure is the best.
I got 11.
11. With that, you just one shot kind of put this creature off the bow, but Heaven, you don't see it yet. You see what looks like from a spore begin to travel down your throat.
That's great. Totally.
You see the figure, all of you to the window now.
Easy.
Yeah, Misfit follows.
You too, Heaven?
Mhm.
With that, you all proceed towards the window. You see they just, almost like with the water nearby, form it into their own, punch through the wall, and with that form a slide for you to go down. As you see, they just surf their way down. Anybody else following?
Yeah.
I cannot understate how bad Eden looks when they do this. I think they wet, drowned rat energy. They get they're on a water slide out of a hospital. It is not graceful. It is yeah. Their gun gets waterlogged. It's horrible. I can't stress this enough.
Gun.
With that, you, with no grace whatsoever, begin to go down as you see the creatures begin to go silent as they kind of look down and begin to walk back. As you all are alive for the moment, you see the figure slowly transform back into what looks like to be a normal person without all of that Fey-like features out, and proceeds to, thank you very much for saving. I don't even know if you really saved me. You're more like in the way, but I have to go stop a monster now.
Wait,
Hold on. We're also trying to stop the same monster, I think. Who the fuck are you?
I am the Caracol of the court of Yamara. From what you know offhand, this is essentially the leader of the Fays within the city. And it is a very rare sight that any person of power or significance comes out, especially if it's the leader. So that means something really bad must be happening, because they're very isolated. They're very isolationist for the most part.
I think Vic just kind of like puts a hand on their neck and like takes a step back.
Eden Soggy Rat stands up. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. I didn't think I'd ever meet you in my lifetime.
Do you know where these creatures has gone?
Well, before all that happened, we were investigating, and I am so sorry for my awful first impression. I typically do better than that.
Just a grunt.
it's okay.
Also,
we all get stage fright.
In terms of how tall they are, they're a little bit abnormally tall. They're again, slightly bigger than all of you. So, it's just a little bit kind of looking up for the most part. Not anything it's above the normal, but not anything too crazy.
To be clear, Rory said that his mom's flower shop brought the flowers in, or
He
they
said
just got some.
he was working at the flower shop, and the flowers they got he felt something weird and then proceeded to pass out.
Got it. Vic will then pipe up. I do. Vic is like talking, like lowering their voice, kind of like hiding next to Heaven, like hiding their face. I do actually know a place where we can go. We've got a lead from the kid that was here.
You see that this person, which by the name, if you were going to call them anything, Melora, goes up to you incredibly close with no sense of boundaries. Where?
A local flower shop?
You have flowers in your hands?
Actually, yes, I do.
She grabs them from you, bites a petal. This came from the swamp.
To the swamp we go.
A swamp, but there's also something else. You see, takes another bite. We're looking for a sewer.
Oh, come on. Do we have to?
Could you step out of my personal space, please?
Which is kind of sort of my personal space too. I just didn't want to like.
You see,
I'm
she
feeling a little
hands
sandwiched.
back the flower, but looks at you, Vic, with hostile intent. Proceeds to walk away.
Yeah.
If you want to follow me, you can follow me. If you don't, then don't. But I am going to save my people either way.
Let's go, gang.
Really? Do we have to? It's the fucking sewers.
That's what you can
Do you wanna
say.
go back
you
upstairs?
You can keep
No.
watch from the car. I don't know what to tell you at this point. You're going to have to touch disgusting things.
I mean, I don't.
You see Melora goes to the nearest manhole, not even with one hand, almost like with two fingers, picks it up and throws it to the side before jumping down.
Let's go. I'm obsessed with her. Vic is not touching anything, but will be floating the entire time.
Fantastic. So you float down. What about everybody else?
Fucking fine. And Misfit will climb down, trying his absolute hardest to touch things as little as possible. So he's like, doing the like little grip on the ladder and trying so hard to stay clean.
Fantastic. Eden in heaven.
Eden puts their leather gloves on and follows suit.
You better wash those gloves after.
Ugh, exactly.
With that, you all proceed down into the sewers. Now, if it was winter, you would be lucky, because at least when it's cold, trash doesn't get too bad. But you're in spring, close to summer. You're not that lucky. You see that on top of whatever's down here in the first place, it's only 100% times worse when heat is applied, especially when it's humid heat, which is only going to make it worse, as you have to try your hardest not to die down here. With that, you proceed for a number of maybe a couple miles into the sewer system as you try your best not to touch water, or you see a rat scuttle past, but for the most part you try your best. And you can see all the while Melora still does a couple glances towards you, Vic.
Vic is going to swallow every ounce of regret and float up next to her. You keep staring, and I'm going to assume, and I'm about 90% sure I know why.
Please enlighten me.
I would rather not, but and Vic would know. Oh, what's the name of the person?
You don't have to remember the name, because it's you know specifically. If you want to know the name of the person that you specifically killed,
Yes.
the person that you specifically killed was, as I pull it up for a hot second here, sorry, You know from. Oh wait, this is the wrong one. My bad. Wait, 1 second. Try to remember.
Me also looking.
Continuing on. Sorry, everybody. What was it? That's what it was. Yeah. For the most part, as you are continuing, does anybody else? If somebody want to roll, read a bad situation for me, please.
Is it Alyssa?
I got 9.
Oh boy. I got different
You cannot-
dice.
All right. For you, CJ, the name of the person that you killed was. Where is it? God damn it. You know, Eliza was the one that survived.
Oh,
Thule
yeah.
was the other one that died.
Got it.
So I got a 9. What else did we get?
A 7.
7.
I also got a 9.
Okay, so with that, you have 1 each. So with that, you have what's my best way in? What's my best way out? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? And what's the best way to protect the victim? So each one of you have a question you can ask.
I'm gonna hit what's the biggest threat?
Fantastic. What about everybody else? So I can answer these out and
I'll go for, are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
okay. And then what about you, Eden?
I'll take what's our best way in.
Fantastic. So with that, best way in. You notice as you're all talking with one another, your best way in seems to be getting close. You see, the best way in seems to be, from what you can tell when you saw a map, is that the sewer leads out to the bayou, which is going to be wherever this is happening. For what's the biggest threat right now, you do notice, Heaven, that it is this creature in front of you, from what you can tell. As you see, this creature is immensely powerful and could take down a good number of you, maybe possibly kill 1 or 2 of you, as they are very powerful in their own right, especially that you don't know what this person has because you've never seen them before in your life. And then for you, Misfit, you notice just ever so slightly the water, almost like Jurassic Park, kind of breaks in certain places irregularly, like something's following you in the water.
I think Misfit notices that, and as soon as they do, they stop in their tracks and they put their arm out to stop whoever's like behind them. They go, shh. Do you see that?
See what?
And Misfit is going to point at the water. I think somebody is following us.
Or something.
Either way, we're not alone.
Let's make them think we are.
Okay. Okay. And Misfit, I think, just kind of like starts walking in this almost like this like comical, cartoonish like exaggeration of a walk. He like stretches out his arms, like puts them behind his head, and just starts like really loudly talking to the rest of the group, being like, "So, what are we looking for again? Looking for like a flower, you said, I think, or a person. What are we looking for again?
Why are you speaking so loudly?
I am just asking a question and you're so far away, so I thought I would, make sure that you heard me.
Well, if we have to speak like this, if we are this close to each other, we are looking for the flower. My people have been infected just as yours.
Yeah, the infection just fucking sucks. Yeah. And I think Misfit is like, as they're talking, like really loudly and walking, they keep like looking back over their shoulder to try and see if they can see or also hear anybody following us.
You can't hear anybody, but as you do get towards the exit of this place, you see it looks like a log of wood before it submerges back in then comes back out, submerges back in.
And
You
I think,
also notice. Oh, no,
sorry, I
continue.
think Misfit watches it bob, and like I think keeps track of the timing of it if it's at like any sort of like regular interval. And the next, and basically, because I assume if Eden is the one who is closest to Misfit, I think starts like tapping Eden's hand in time with when it comes out. Basically, like passing on the information of like of the creature, so that Eden could theoretically do something about it.
Fantastic.
And just like super subtly, Eden like brings their shotgun like up and over their shoulder, like they would be resting it, but the muzzle is pointing backward.
Is it still waterlogged?
No, they had to pour it out before we went into the. They waited until everyone was like in the sewer to like pour the water out of the muzzle. Yeah.
With that, as you all proceed out into the bayou, with again that same tension between you and them, Vic, my name's Vic. You start to notice that a thick mist begins to form. So thick that it's gonna get hard for you to see each other if you start to walk in this.
That's still. Vic's just gonna. Oh God. Everyone hold hands, I guessed. It's about to get misty.
It didn't have to be a saying.
I wasn't trying. I'm being very literal. And Vic just kind of points to the mist that's thickening.
All right, give me your hand. And Misfit is talking to Vic.
Vic begrudgingly goes closer to the lady that hates her ass. And it's like, no,
You said hold hands. What do you mean no?
not holding your hand.
Oh, come on.
No.
What the fuck is your problem?
The fuck's your problem?
I am just trying to
Misfits?
do what you asked us to do. I don't understand.
Oh my God. When have you done anything that anyone has ever asked you to do? When did you start caring?
When did I start? I have been here this whole time. In case you haven't noticed, in case it didn't ping in your brain, Vic, I have been here the entire fucking time. And all of this, whatever it is that you are going through, newsflash, I was the first person to fucking tell you that you should leave the initiative and that you should embrace this part of yourself.
Oh, congratulations for being able to spot the obvious.
I was trying to help you. You just refused to accept any help.
Oh my God, that's bullshit, and you know it.
How is that bullshit? I don't understand. You feel better now, don't you? Now that you've unleashed the fucking monster inside you, you were fucking incredible. You feel powerful.
We have something to do right now. You and I, we can hash this out later. Let's kill the thing.
Arguing.
Yeah.
Eden, you feel something from the water wrap around you and drag you into the water.
Does it make a sound? Eden's gonna try to shoot their gun in any direction just so that somebody knows that something just happened to them.
You can shoot your gun.
So sorry.
But it's almost like silent in nature as you see.
Babe, you know the direction that the thing is in!
As you all hear a probably about maybe west of you, as you don't hear Eden, but you're under the water being dragged at a fast rate. What are the rest of you doing?
Wait, hold on. You said soundlessly, like we don't hear this?
You only hear a shotgun blast and nothing else.
Eden?
I think maybe the shotgun kind of goes like in between, like the bullet goes in between Vic and Misfit, like interrupting their argument, hitting the wall, the sewer wall. And Misfit just kind of like steps back, like, Eden, you don't have to, like, because they thought that they were interrupting, only to find that Eden's not there. Eden, fuck. Heaven, Vic, there is There's something in the fucking water, and
Yeah,
Misfit
no fucking shit.
Misfit just fucking dives into this disgusting ass sewer water in an attempt to follow and find Eden.
You see Melora follow suit as you see they're very much more proficient in the water than they are on land, as they kind of help guide you to wherever you wish to go.
Let's go. Vic dives in.
We're under the sewage.
You're in the bayou now, it's not too bad. It's just now dirty water. With
Eden's
that-
fighting. Just as a
Yes.
heads up,
Yeah.
Eden's yeah.
Roll kick some ass for me, please.
I have a question. You can roll kick some ass. Don't worry, that doesn't affect that. I have a question.
Yeah.
My angel wings allow me to instantly go to a person that I know well instead of a location, and I would argue that I know Eden quite well. And so if it's okay with you, I think that when Misfoot jumped in to dive into the water, they activated their wings and they kind of furl out of their shoulder blades. These enormous skeletal bat wings that are there's I think a small fire running along it, but it doesn't seem to catch it. Kind of runs along and then dies out, runs along and dies out. And before they actually hit the water, they teleport to wherever Eden is.
We'll get to you in a hot second. As Eden, what did you roll for kick your ass?
I would love to use my transmutation rote to roll with plus weird instead. And that's going to be an 8. The cost of creation is greater than anticipated. The spell claims another component up to the keeper's discretion. Eden's whatever is grabbing them right now, they're trying to grab it and turn it into stone. They're trying to use its own physical matter against it to wrestle with its literal. They're trying to transmute it.
With that, you begin to grab and try to transmute it to stone. You can see whatever it is, it's almost like dog-like in nature, or it's like a bipedal creature that's swimming very fast. You see tentacles kind of passing by of wood. But for the most part, you're able to turn to stone, but you do notice that some of the feathers that you had begin to dissipate in response as you lose some feathers. But you're able to turn the creature into stone. And as you kind of try to get your bearings, you can see that there's a hand inside the water, but kind of reaching out for you. It looks normal, not anything monstrous, and it looks like it's trying to help.
Eden takes it.
With that, you're grabbed up, coughing up this horrible water. Misfoot, you teleport next to Eden as you see that they're on the ground in this bayou, whatever piece of land you can find, like a smallish island, coughing up water.
Do I see the person who helped them out of the water?
You do. You see that it is Tyr, who doesn't look demonic, but you can see that for some reason he looks human. He feels different. He doesn't feel the same. He feels more powerful than he was last time. And gives a wave.
Does Eden recognize him?
You don't, because he's in his human form right now. So you wouldn't know. You're just like, wow, this man saved me. It's weird that this fully suited man is in the bayou. So something's off. You just don't know what it is.
Eden is very busy remembering how to breathe.
Misfit sees Eden at first, I think, and goes runs up towards them and goes Eden, are you? And then notices Tyr and immediately pushes Tyr off of Eden, no physical contact, says, what the fuck are you doing here?
Hey, I'm not the one who called for a business meeting, brother.
Misfit punches Tyr in the face.
You poof, almost punch it like sand comes off, begins to retract back. That's not fair, brother.
Misfit punches him again.
Again, sand comes off. You're gonna tire yourself out. I think you're gonna need it from my friend that's out
Shut the fuck up. What are you doing here, and how did you know that we were here?
there. Apparently your friend Eden wanted to talk to me, so I decided to come in. Apparently you're in a bit of trouble with Ingrid.
We are just fine. You don't need to talk.
Well, it's not up to you, little brother.
And I think
Sorry.
Misfit just keeps punching their brother until Vic and Heaven show up. That's just what he's gonna do.
All of you see this. You see Melora in the back, just head above the water watching. Look, I'm not here for your cross. Can you stop punching the mouth? At least aim for something lower so I can speak and move on with my life.
Misfit holds out their hands. What do you have to say? Just say it and leave.
Well, Eden had a question for me, so I'm all here, all ears.
And Misfit turns to look at Eden. And there is a warning in his eyes.
Forgot to mention, hi, I am the little brother, even though I feel like I'm the big one. Tyr, it's a pleasure to meet all of you.
Eden is still sitting on the ground, but they have gone completely still. And for like the first time, Misfit, when you try to meet their gaze, they are looking right past you at Tyr. And there's something in their face that I don't think you've ever seen before. Hatred. True, deep, utter hatred. Unmasked. Unveiled. Why introduce yourself? You know me so well, don't you?
You, and I'm sorry it took me this long to finally meet with you. I was in prison, if you didn't hear, for some time after our little visit. I managed to pop out and escape prison, but they put me right back in. But I am proud to say you have done wonderful beyond compare than anything I could have ever imagined. But you're living the dream.
The dream.
Yes. Maybe not your
Dream.
own, but it certainly is mine and my family's.
Is this a fucking joke to you?
Maybe. It's like a play. You get to watch it out and enjoy the experience. I just wish I had some popcorn. What was it that you wanted
Yeah.
again? You wanted a, a dog?
Are we here for that?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you two are
I-
here.
I think at that point, like it clicks at who this is, and Vic attacks.
Don't fucking touch him.
Vic, with every ounce of restraint. Is this the motherfucker that did that to you, Eden?
I don't know. Why don't we let him tell the story? What was your fucking plan? What did you want from me?
No, I didn't want anything from you. I just wanted to ruin your life, to be honest. It was so simple. Actually, my hard dad doesn't even know what I did to you. To be honest, he thought all of your line was dead, but I found a little book in a little place and found out there were 2 living descendants. And must say, Heaven, you look splendid. I think Demon and Angel looks great on you this time of the year.
Not even acknowledging him.
And
But
what happens when Father finds out of what you've done without his permission?
you didn't hear. I thought you would have known. Oh, dude, does the great demon of lies not know?
What?
You're getting the boot, brother.
What do you mean?
Try summoning that apocalypse.
You're fucking lying. You know that I'm one step away. You can't.
That I can't what? I can't convince all the lords that, hey, Big Brother upstairs is in love with a mortal, and the last thing they would do is stop the world from ending, or they would never see their love. No one believed me until someone decided to take a fucking trip down to Father and boast themselves in front of our gossipy sister. And lo and behold, you've been given the X.
Misfit
I gotta say,
turns.
you call me daddy? Your son calls you daddy. Funniest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. And the last person I think would deliver the line is you. I don't even know how you got there. I don't really care. You saved me so much time and effort that I'm just the new head honcho. You can see the threads are kicking. I am feeling good, and shows the tattoo on his chest. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little of these guys here.
Misfit immediately goes to check their own tattoo.
You see, gone.
They. No, no, that is not possible. You're fucking lying.
That's not my domain. I tell the truth.
And Misfit turns to Eden. You got me fired? That's why you went down to talk to my dad, is because you wanted to get me fired?
Uh-oh,
want to
someone
get you
call the
fired.
couple counselor.
Misfit punches Tyr again. Shut the fuck up.
Well, I know you got a lot of issues to go through, but Eden, to answer your question quickly, I did it because you ruined my family's life. Your ancestor killed my mother with her big ass mouth. So I decided to make sure that your living moment from the day you were born to the right now is only been hell. And I gave you the power to do it. Because in the end of the day, even though I gave you the power, you were gonna fuck up everybody's life to begin with, whether you had magic or not. Because let's be honest, what are you at the end of the day? Just a
Okay,
big
you're
old
done.
Yeah,
You're
Vic,
done. You're done. You're done. And just like with little shotgun motion, finger pointed up, I'm going to use Cast Out Evil on
Oh,
Tyr.
please do.
And I'm going to use luck. We
Oh.
ain't got time for that.
You see, he begins to dissipate. Oh, lovely trick. Just remember, Eden, even though I may have given you the gift, it wasn't me. And also, you should run as he begins to dissipate.
Absolutely the fuck not. He is not going anywhere. I think as the sand particles start to rise, this time that Eden spent letting this conversation play out, letting this conversation go as far as it did, they spent carving a rune with their fingernail into their palm. Sorry, that's a little graphic. I apologize. As they squeeze, and the sand starts running backward toward them, as I would like to use my second brand new rote called Siphon.
Misfit.
And I want to pull the...
Oh, no, finish your sentence.
Oh, I just wanted to pull that power, that tattoo, right off his fucking chest.
Cool, yeah. Misfit, wings still out, sees this happening, teleports in between. It gets in the way.
I think Vic's gonna try to stop you.
You can try.
Oh, I forgot that means I have to explain what I'm trying to do. I think Vic wants to tackle Misfit. Similarly, in the same way that Misfit tackled Vic after they thought they hurt Eden.
All right, so to my understanding, we're gonna tackle first. So tough, I guess, plus tough. I think is the best.
Kick some ass. I don't know.
I'm gonna use
Yeah.
my luck
Oh, okay.
and
So you-
grab Misfit by the neck.
Fantastic.
And
As
I wanna watch what's gonna happen with.
yeah, with that, you pull out the way. Eden, there's no, you don't have to roll because there's nothing in that direction. But as you all are fighting between one another, you see coming out of the bayou wings as large as cars. You see about maybe 12, maybe 13 feet tall, scales made out of wood, glowing green, horns on their head. You see gas beginning to come out as you see Ingrid, which they all failed to fucking mention, is a dragon! As you see, you all take 4 harm of poisonous gas. Remember, you can also use your luck to do 0 damage in case you are hurting bad.
I am
for the most
actually
part-
only gonna take 1 because of
Ooh.
all the things.
I mean, do you have that armor? No, I'm just being annoying.
With that,
I have my
what
sword
we-
out, which means I have my armor out. So yes, I do.
The armor was from your daddy, and you got fired.
Oh, actually, that's a good question. Do I still have that?
You lost that bad boy, so
Never mind. I take 3 harm.
as you're like, my armor will protect me, you're like, wait, I got fired, and you just get immediately blasted with poison as it burns against your skin. With that, what are you guys doing as you see Malara begin to dive under the water, try to maneuver around?
I want to
I
throw
think Eden's
Misfit.
still. I think Eden is still trying to wrestle with Tyr.
If Vic is trying to throw me, I think Misfit is like laughing into Vic's face, and like I don't okay, like my character sheet doesn't let me do this, but I would like to argue that I could do this. I am going to grab with both hands Vic's hand that is around my neck and like try and like burn Vic functionally.
I mean, let's use magic.
Yeah, it's use magic.
No! I failed.
What'd you get?
I don't
Can you heal
know.
me?
It doesn't show the number for some reason, but I failed. That's all I know.
So, Vic, what are you doing with Misfit as they're
I
in
want
your
to
hands?
reaction eat this magic and heal myself for basically using my move. And can I roll cool to see how much health I get back?
Please do.
Yeah, that's a 12. Well, actually, it's an 11 because it's not weird. But yeah, so I
Yeah.
get to heal 2.
I don't know what's gonna pop up here. What you got? What else do you have?
I have an idea, which is to make it worse, which is the amount of HP or harm that you heal. Can I say that you like because you're a siphon?
Yeah.
You like literally like take it not only from Misfit's magic, but from Misfit's like life force. So I'm gonna add 2 harm to myself as you heal that 2 harm.
So whenever you heal, so +4 health back as you just absorb all of that. Misfit, you try fighting it off, but you're not the Hailed anymore. You're just a normal demon, whatever that's worth out here. As you get tossed aside, as you feel powerful, Vic. And you feel that monster coming out again.
Oh, Vicious is here. Misfit, I want you to watch this. And I'm gonna attack the dragon.
Please do. I will say you get a +1 with whatever you roll because you see Melora, as much as they don't want to help you, begin to maneuver and try to go for the legs, giving you some room to attack.
Cool. That's a 13. And I noticed
Fantastic.
that on the sheet there's advanced kick some ass.
Don't think you have that, yes.
That's
Because
fine. I
that's
don't know
like
how to
that's
use that.
yeah. You do have a effect that you can inflict.
That's fair. It's set on a 12 plus, but I have no idea how much of the week works half the time.
No.
Let's
There's no.
go. That's fine. I'm gonna use my move then, because that's magic, or I'm gonna use my magic. The burn everything move to do 3 intimate harm. As I basically kind of use that energy that kind of keeps my hand on, like a flame that I just took from Misfit, to just like incinerate the inside of this tree.
You crack in. You see it begins to aflame the dragon, which makes it only look more intimidating because it was already intimidating. Now it's on fire, even though it is dying, but you see it's on fire.
Do any of us have the thing that Bosco tells us to capture it? I would, if
I think, yeah,
yeah.
Vic,
Oh.
Heaven took it.
I would
So
say heaven now.
you get slapped off the edge. Heaven, real quick, act under pressure for me, please.
Oh boy. Oh, you guys, you rapscallions. Okay, that's cool. Y'all want to know? I think I'll level up. That's a 5.
You try pulling out the trap, but you feel something in your chest hurt. And you all proceed to see red veins pop up along Heaven's neck.
Vic, I don't feel so good.
It's heavy in your hand. You let it go. Eden, while you are still in shock, you see your other sibling is sick. And you don't know whether that means they're dying or if they're going to turn into something really bad in a moment.
So is Tyr gone?
Tears
I've been trying.
got banished.
Oh, I've been trying to wrestle them back this whole time.
Oh, I'm going to say for the
I've been
purposes
trying
of
to
this,
pull their magic out of them.
for the purposes here, he's got banished. He would have stayed longer, but he got banished and he can't return because this spot he can't. So for the moment, he's not around.
Eden lets out a guttural scream, like a guttural scream of anguish, as the magic like fizzes and pops around them like a lightning storm. And then they turn around, see Heaven full of red veins, and they just like push with their hand, the heel of their hand up, and they are going to very, very forcefully try to use force of will to dispel a magical effect, block a spell, or suspend a phenomenon.
Roll for me, please.
10, baby.
Fantastic.
On a 10 plus, I can also spend luck to instantly snuff out a powerful spell or strange effect. And in their frustration, I am going to spend that luck and like a crack of lightning, all of it just like is ignited in Eden's fit of rage. All of it from all across the city.
It's like summoning the very nature itself. You become a force of nature floating off the ground, screams that could be heard. So, do you heal Heaven or do you use it on something else?
I completely I snuff out this powerful spell or strange effect, generally
Okay,
speaking.
So with that, Heaven, you see that the sickness begin to fade, immediately leaving your body. You also see the Ingrid is what they're called, begin to sort of almost slow down in power as you see that the dragon begins to almost melt away. And before you landing on the ground, you see what looks like to be a woman, weak, orange hair. You see green veins on their side, eyes glowing green, orange hair, in what looks like to be kind of Viking-esque witch robes with their hair braided, coughing onto the water as you see they're almost like tensing up on the ground, almost like you see their spirit is leaving in and out. Yes, Eden.
I've used luck twice this session, and my luck special is that backlash on my spells will be extra nasty. I am fine with Eden accidentally killing her.
Fantastic. You, in your anger, you see Ingrid not as Ingrid but as Tyr. So what do you do as you see Tyr's back?
I fucking obliterate him. I turn him into sand, into the tiniest particles of nothing.
You see they slowly until they become one with the swamp. And you see Melora get out, proceed to utter words towards you, and begins to draw your magic down to a normal level.
And Eden is just standing there breathing really hard.
Very reluctantly, you see Melora kind of, I do not know what this creature has done to you, but I am sorry for whatever loss it has done to you. I know my words do not mean much, but from someone who has lost family members to creatures of their own intent as they stare at you, Vic.
And I think they can stare at Vic all they want, because I think what they see, which doesn't help Vic's case at all in terms of that, like the relationship with Melora, is Vic floating above kind of like Misfit's crumpled body, staring at Misfit. And for the first time, because I think this puts Vic kind of like the closest to the monster that they've ever been. You see that same lava extending out of Vic's back almost as liquid wings, and a portion of the lava, a halo around Vic's head. You see the red claws almost as if like iron was smelted into heat, and just pure red eyes staring down at Misfit. And Melora would see kind of the back angle of that. And Vic's not saying anything. They're just staring at a weak and powerless Misfit.
And I think counter to that, on the ground, you see Misfit beaten up. I think there's still some like marks on their neck from when Vic had grabbed him, and his wings are still out, but the fire is fizzling, I think, similar to the way that he is fizzling, but he laughing still. And they look up at Vic, and they hold out a hand, like still lying flat on their back on the ground on the side of this fucking swamp in this bayou, and they hold out a hand to Vic. Congratulations on your win.
Stay away from me, Misfit, because I know what you are. And it's surprising that you didn't remember my warning from last time. I told you to stay in the place of a dog, next to your master. Because I know what you were doing. You wonder why I was upset. It's because you had the audacity to think that you could use me, an apex predator, to bring your silly apocalypse. And now look at you. You don't even have that apocalypse anymore. You are thrown away, discarded. And the monster has its sights on you. So if you want to stay alive long enough to be with Eden, then you'll watch yourself.
Oh, there's always so much that you have to say, Vic. Fine. you want me to stay as a dog by my master, then come. Why don't you meet him? And Misfoot goes to grab, I think, the nearest part of Vic's body that is within reach, whether that's a foot, whatever.
My foot.
And is going to use the compass and transport the both of us to hell.
Fantastic. With that, you immediately see the two of them puff out. As you both are teleported in hell. You don't know where you are. You seem to be in some sort of court, like in terms of like, how to say, sort of the entryway before you go into a castle. So it seems to be just a courtyard at the moment. As it's just the two of you looking at each other from a distance. What
I'm
do
gonna
you
be
do?
real. I think this is a next time on situation.
Fantastic. Before we ended, Eden and Heaven. What are you two doing as you see these other two disappear?
I wanted to go get pancakes after this.
There's some things pancakes can't fix.
I know, but pretending really helps sometimes.
Does it? Heaven.
It does. Surprisingly, it does.
I'm so tired of pretending.
I'm not. Fake it till you make it, right?
And Eden, shaking still, walks over to Heaven and pulls her into a really tight hug.
As we see that hug between twins, we cut off to one last scene. We see Tyr being reconstructed back in the city. Oh my god. Oh, I feel like my lungs and my pancreas are in the wrong place. We see he's on a roof of some sort. And you see the Dread King in the distance looking out. We see Kelgor is on his side. You see him turn around. Fantastic. Did you really had a showboat and shove it in their face? What do you want me to do? I've been waiting to get back on my little bro. Sorry, big bro. I always keep forgetting. For the longest time, you had to let me relish in that. Well, great. So what's, what the next part is, right? It's an election year, so let's get voting. You're gonna need one more thing. You see, he pulls out a necklace, Misfoot's necklace, and hands it in his hands. You're gonna need that for the apocalypse, because it's starting now. You see, just Tyr with a gleeful smile. It's about goddamn time. And that is what we shall end our session for today. Yay! Thank you, everybody, for joining us on this lovely episode of the Mythic Initiative. With that, we're going to go in reverse order of our cast, starting off with Humna.
That's how I feel about all of that. What is happening? Okay, I'm fine. I'm professional. I'm good. Hello, my name is Humna. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer. I played Misfoot, who uses he, they pronouns, the Summoned, who is no longer the Harbinger of the Apocalypse. Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at @HShahid_, where I talk about all of the different projects I'm a part of. I'm on a lot of different APs right now. So if you like what I do, best place to find me. The next place that I'm going to be is on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be over on Vanna's channel playing Higher Education, which is our Strixhaven campaign, and Abria Iyengar is guesting on it on Saturday. So if you want to come see that, which I think you do, come do that. That's going to be amazing. It's going to be really fun. And hopefully I take fewer L's in that session because this was a lot. And I'm going to pass it over to CJ.
Hi everyone, I'm CJ. I played the very normal, very well-adjusted Vic. Yeah, man, I'm in hell now, literally. So that's very interesting. Tune in next time to see how that gets fucking resolved. If you like what I do, if you think I'm cool, hot, sexy, fun, and smart, I don't know, follow me on Twitter and TikTok. I've been making TikToks again. I'll probably be talking about this game, so come watch my videos. I'm gonna pass it to Vin.
Hi guys. We have fun here. Again, I'm Vin at VinVoxVA on Twitter, Instagram. I'll be on one of those. What's your favorite pancake? I think Heaven's is chocolate chip. Anyway, I do a lot of things. Just check the Twitter. I'm flabbergasted. Bro is flabbergasted, and I'm gonna pass it on to my twin, C.
Eden's favorite pancake, I think, has sprinkles on it, so they'd never admit that that was their favorite pancake. I don't know. Like they put sprinkles on them sometimes. Everyone's making a face. That's fine. Hi, my name is Cia. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me making very trans, very gay art on the internet at PieSharpArt. If you liked what I did here tonight, what the fuck is wrong with you? But you'll also like what I do in other places. So check me out on the internet. I too am in lots and lots of different streams. You can also find me on Saturday playing with the lovely Humna and Abria Iyengar. I am so excited for that game. It's going to be excellent. And next week, not this week, but the week after that, is the Transplanter Arc 8 premiere, which is our final arc. It's going to be literally so much. Literally so very much. Oh my god. So, I don't know. I'm in a lot of other stuff, so check out my Twitter if you want to know where I'm at any given time. And Chris, I'm passing it to you now.
Thank you very much. Once again, I was your lovely keeper for these preceding stories. You can find me at my Twitter, which is VO_Cologne, that's COLON. Pretty much getting ready for the new year, just like everyone else. So next week we have another new episode next Thursday. But beyond that, you can catch me on my Twitter for all that good stuff and my website if you need any VO stuff. Beyond that, we hope you have a lovely new year, and we can't wait to see you in 2023. Have a good night, everyone.